Hello, my name is Darya Patapenka, I'm dietitian. We will talk about main function of sugar in bread making. Before we will talk about function, I would like to say a few words about what is sugar. Most of the people, they think that sugar is those white crystals that we put in tea or coffee. It's not true. Sugar is common word for the substances which call carbohydrates or carbs. I bet you heard about it. Carbohydrates you can find in any cereals, in lentils, in fruits and vegetables. You can find it in seeds and nuts. As bread is made from cereals or from lentils, anyway, all those functions, they will be still there. All those functions about which we will talk about. But by adding sugar inside, those functions, they will be just more visible. So I don't want you to go with misunderstanding that to make a bread is equal to add sugar in bread, because it's really not necessary. But when we will talk about functions, you will understand. Some people, they prefer bread with sugar, with adding sugar, than without. And first function is yeast activation and fermentation. Yeast, it's microorganisms which are eating sugar, and while they're eating sugars, they producing carbon dioxide and alcohol, and this process make our bread grow. Second function is flavor enhancement. As more flavors, as more taste fill our receptors on the tongue, as more we like the product. And when we add sugar, this sweet taste in our bread, it will kind of play with all other taste of other ingredients in bread, and we will like it more than the bread without adding sugar. Golden crust is the third function of the sugar in bread. We like to play not only with taste but also with structure. This crunchy structure outside with soft texture inside is playing with our taste, with our mood, and by hearing the noise of the crunchy thing, making our appetite grow. Next function is moisture retention. As sugar molecule is attracting water molecule, it will become softer and moister for a longer time. And because sugar attracting water molecules, we can avoid bread molting. There are also different types of sugar which are commonly used in baking: granulated, brown, and powdered sugar. Granulated sugar is more easier to measure and to dissolve in liquids. You add in brown sugar if you want to have a caramel-like flavor. Powdered sugar is easy to blend with other ingredients, and it gives this silky texture, for example, for toppings. When we're using too much or not enough sugar, all those functions will be less or more visible. And how much sugar should we add to the dough? It really depends on the personal preferences and of the type of the bread that you want to make. For basic bread, use 1-2 tablespoons for each 2-3 cups of flour. Artificial sweeteners can be used instead of sugar, but it will affect on the texture, on the color of the bread, and on the whole outcome of bread. So you need to experiment with this and to see if you really like to use those artificial sweeteners. Baking is an art, and like in any art, you need to experiment and to practice. But remember, when you add too much or not enough sugar, you cannot have the texture or the taste that you would like to have. But I'm sure if you will practice more, you will find your perfect quantities of ingredients to make the perfect bread that all your family will like. Baking is an art, and like in any art, you need experimentation and practice. So I want you to practice and to remember that not enough or too much sugar can make your texture and taste be not as you want. And I believe that in time and in practice, you will find your perfect quantities of ingredients to make bread that all your family will like.